Hello all, and welcome to Season 6, Episode 6 of COMMCast. I'm your host, Xavier Davis. COMMCast is a production of the Longwood University Communication Studies Department and the COM 434 Comm Lab class. This show is dedicated to highlighting the Longwood and Farmville communities. Today's episode is about education and prevention programming on campus. Let's get started. Joining us today on set, we have the Director of Education and Prevention Programs, Sasha Johnson. Sasha, you look lovely today. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Good.
So, how important do you think these programs are to have on campus?
Oh, they're absolutely essential. Our programs are evidence-based and they target issues like alcohol and other drugs or substance use, sexual misconduct, hazing, and human trafficking.
Wow.
Yeah.
That gets really deep. I understand that. Wow.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And with that, what are some of the programs that you put on?
Yeah. So we try to kick off our programming in the summer with orientation. So we offer required programming for students related to all four of those topics. And then we also start to build in programs throughout the semester. Hazing Prevention Week is in September. October, we usually host the Red Flag campaign, which focuses on healthy relationships and how to identify red flags in an unhealthy relationship. Then we move more into some alcohol and other drug programming. You know, we have different events going on, sporting events, Oktoberfest, so we want to make sure folks are staying safe. And then we start it all over again for the spring semester.
Wow. Yeah. And I must get a lot loaded too on your schedule.
It is definitely demanding.
Imagine.
Yes.
But with that, as well, are there any future programs or events that you're looking forward to?
Oh, there's so many I'd love to talk with you all about. So April is coming up and it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And before we even get to April, it's still March and we have a few programs going on right now. So there's National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week, which is this week, and we're tabling around campus. Tomorrow we'll be hosting Narcan training, which is an opioid overdose prevention training, and it's really quick and easy to do. So if you're not trained, I encourage you to stop by the dining hall tomorrow between 11 and 2 to get trained. It's called Revive Training. And then we'll also be tabling, offering some information and resources like fentanyl test strips, lock boxes, so you can lock up your medication, keep things safe, because if it's not prescribed to you, don't take it, right? So we want to be really safe and accurate, and make sure we're offering accurate information. So we're also bringing in some professionals in April for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is going to be, let's see, the first one is probably going to be a Fear to Freedom program on April the 16th at 6 p.m. in Blackwell. And then there is the human trafficking speaker. Oh, wow. She's coming. It's Tanya Good. She's coming from the Attorney General's Office of Virginia, and she'll be in JPB at 6 p.m. We need everybody to get there. We don't hear a lot about human trafficking, and a lot of people think, oh, it's not happening to me. It won't happen to me. It doesn't happen here. It's not that big of a deal, when it really is.
Wow. Well, it seems like I'm going to be there too, so thank you for letting me know.
I hope so.
But as well, what inspired you to take the role of Director of Education and Prevention Programs?
Yeah. Funny you ask, because it started when I was a student here at Longwood. I joined a club called Wellness Ambassadors, and we got trained to become certified peer health educators. And from that, I stuck with health education, I stuck with community health, I got my master's in public health, and so I do a lot on campus, but I do a lot in the community and in the nation as well, related to public health, education, and promotion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. And with that, can you really, date back to when you really understood this was the job for you, especially at Longwood?
Yeah. Oh, wow. So when I came to Longwood, I transferred to Longwood from UNC Chapel Hill, go Tar Heels. I'm glad they made it to the championship, to the NCAA tournament. But go Heels. But I came here and I became a Lancer, right? And I fell in love with Longwood. It became a family. It was such a community. And right away, I knew I also needed to go to work. So I walked right over to the Student Health and Wellness Center, and I asked them if they needed a student employee. And they took me in the back and they interviewed me and they offered me a job. And so from that day, it was January 2002, I've been committed.
Wow, so you're literally a source. Like, you've been here for a while.
It's a long time.
But that's great. And what do you wish the takeaway is when putting on these events? What do you want students to take away when they come?
It only takes one time to change your life, whatever it might be. Whatever it might be, right? And so I encourage everyone to choose responsibly, to take time and think about the consequences of your actions and think about how it affects you and how it affects others, those you love and those you don't even know. So whether that's drinking and driving or experimenting with drugs or getting into a new relationship, making sure you have consent, right? True and open consent as you're in relationships and just dating or whatever you all call it today. So just making sure that your one time, whatever you do, know that it's important. And it doesn't have to mean that your life is over if you make mistakes, right? You can get up from that. I used to work with our recovery program. I still work with the program, but it has transferred over to counseling education. And so recovery is real and recovery is possible. And I want people to know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for answering those questions. Everything that you just answered was great, and the information provided was very informational.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with everyone's favorite COMMCast trivia.
Oh, my goodness.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, COMMCast Trivia. As viewers may not know, you are a member of the prestigious Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So in this segment, we'll be playing a game of Guess Who with a little twist. Okay. All of these members are AKAs.
Okay.
So, question number 1. This member is an American author and civil rights activist, civil rights leader, who is the wife of Martin Luther King Jr.
Coretta Scott King.
That is correct. Now, moving on to question number 2. This member is an American singer, songwriter, classical trained pianist, and began composing songs at age 12 and was signed by Columbia Records at 15. Some of her songs were You Don't Know My Name, If I Ain't Got It, If I Ain't Got You, and Diary.
Alicia Keys. Is that right?
Well, that is also correct.
Great.
Moving on to question number 3. This member is an American singer, songwriter, dancer, model, and actress. Born into a musical family in McCobb, Mississippi. Some of her song titles are The Boy Is Mine and Album Say Never.
Who is Brandy?
That is also correct.
Yeah.
Wow, that's 3 for 3. Okay,
I was there when she became a member.
Oh, wow. That is a fun fact.
Yes.
Moving on to question number 4. This member was an American activist in the civil rights movement, best known for her pivotal role in the Montgomery bus boycott. Refusing to give up her seat in the United States Congress has honored her as the First Lady of Civil Rights and the mother of the freedom of movement.
Who is the Rosa Parks?
That is also correct. Wow, 4 for 4. Okay. Someone came ready.
Better be.
This member is so moving on to question number 5, This member is an American politician, an attorney who served as the 49th Vice President of the United States from 2021 to 2025 under President Joe Biden.
Who is Kamala Harris?
That is crazy. 5 for 5. You know, if I couldn't say, it seems like you know your information and know your history.
I try.
And with that, thank you so much for answering all those questions and joining us today, Sasha. And thank you, everyone, behind the Comm Lab scenes. And thank you for everyone who's watching Join us live next Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. on YouTube for another episode of COMMCast.
Thank you.